Well, hello, everyone. Bonjour tout le monde. I'm Perry Johnston, the Vice President of Policy and Public Affairs at Genome Canada here in Ottawa. And I'm so pleased to welcome everyone who's taking part in the CSPC conference to a very special session that Genome Canada is very proud to sponsor. It really is great that I understand we've got a lot of people who've signed up for this session to create some mental wellness and space in our busy lives and in our intense attendance at the CSPC conference. We are going to be treated to a wonderful restorative yoga class. And I just am so pleased. I practice yoga myself, and I'm so pleased that we're able to do this today because it really is a reflection of Genome Canada's values and commitments to mental health and wellness for our staff and our partners. And I'm just very pleased now to welcome and thank our yoga instructor today. So I'm really pleased that we're going to have a class with Keti Sosokole, who is a Cameroonian Canadian and 200-hour registered yoga teacher with a background in Ashtanga and Vinyasa Hatha yoga. She teaches slow yoga flows that are accessible to beginners, and she's going to be taking us through over the next half an hour a very accessible and restorative yoga class that we can practice in our chairs, in our stand-up spaces, in our rooms, wherever we are. And she's coming to us from the Ottawa Pranashanti Yoga Center, owned by Devinder Kaur, and who is where I practice. And she is a teacher that I absolutely love to practice with. I know you're going to enjoy this opportunity for some mental space and wellness to slow down, breathe, and take in a little space before you go back to your busy sessions at CSPC. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Keti, and I'm going to join you and her in this great practice, and I'll see you at the end of the session.
Hello, everyone. Keti Sosokole here at the Pranashanti Yoga Center. Welcome to you all. For this practice, I do encourage, and I know you're obviously in the conference, but I do encourage that you have something comfortable that you can move your body in a little bit for the next now 28 minutes. So let's start our practice today sitting down. So I can encourage you to sit down either in your chair or maybe on the ground on a soft space. So I have a cushion here, and you can have your legs crossed. Or if it's more comfortable for you, you can have your legs spread wide, feet pointing outward. Wherever you choose to be. Lengthen through your spine. So by lengthening, I mean open through your shoulders, maybe roll your shoulders back. Imagine that there's a string that's pulling through the top of your head towards the ceiling. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. Start to notice, observe your breath. You can bring your hands on your thighs or on your knees. You can have your palms facing down to get a sense of grounding. Or you can have your palms facing up to get a sense of surrender, of release. Slowly inhale through the nose for 1, 2, 3. Let's release for 3, 2, 1. Slow inhale through the nose. 1, 2, 3. Release. 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. Release. 3, 2, 1. Continue at your own pace. Trying to cultivate a relaxing effect of a controlled, mindful breath. Filling up chest and belly with the inhale. Releasing everything out with the exhale. Maybe constrict the back of your throat to create an oceanic sound. And so as we lay in our space, as we sit, maybe we're standing, we pay homage to the land that we practice upon and its indigenous caretakers, nations, and tribes, past, present, and future. In this time of Thanksgiving, in this time of truth and reconciliation, we acknowledge the trauma that they have and continue to face, and our complicity as a settler nation. No more shall we avert our eyes, no more shall we turn away. And instead, we stand in solidarity with our indigenous communities, now and always, in more than words, in action. Taking our practice of yoga off the mat, showing love, respect, and consideration for each and every one that we meet in this journey called life. Flutter your eyes open if you had them closed. Let's bring our right hand down onto our space. Maybe the palm comes all the way down as we lean towards the right. Bring your left arm overhead, stretching along our left side. Roll your left shoulder back to open through the chest. Maybe gaze comes towards the ceiling if that feels comfortable. Otherwise, keep your gaze down towards the mat. Let's breathe here for 3, 2, and 1. Come back upright. Bring both arms by your ears. Stretch your arms and fingers towards the ceiling. Gaze towards the ceiling as well. Breathe here, extending for 3, 2, slow deep breaths. And 1. Let's bring the left palm down to the space beside us, leaning towards the left. Bring that right arm overhead, roll the top shoulder back to open. Maybe you feel the stretch all the way from your hip through your torso, your arms for 3, 2, and 1. Come back upright, both arms by your ears, stretching towards the ceiling for a deep breath in. Exhale, let's fold forward. Bring your fingertips as far forward as you can. Stretch along your shoulders through your arms. Keep your chin to your chest to extend through the back of your neck. 3, 2, and 1. Walk your hands towards your seat. Let's do big shoulder rolls. Bring your shoulders as close to your ears and then rolling them back. Come to stillness for a breath in. Exhale. Let's bring our right ear to our right shoulder, stretching along the left side. Maybe your left hand stays on the thigh, or if you'd like, you can bring your left fingertips to the ground and hover them off the ground for a little bit of extra. Tilt your chin up or down. Find a sweet spot and take 3 cycles of breath here. Return your left hand to your thigh. Gently roll your chin to chest. Another moment to stretch in the back of our neck. For 3, roll your shoulders away. 2. And 1, roll your left ear to your left shoulder. Find a sweet spot and maybe you try the variation like earlier with the right fingertips hovering off the ground. Knowing that it's okay if you don't do the same variations. We are not symmetrical. Breathe here for another 2. And 1. Bring both hands back onto the thigh and let's roll our head back to open up the throat. Again, notice if your shoulders are rolling towards your ears, release the tension there for 3, 2, and 1. Do 2 circles with your neck, with your head in one direction, going slowly with your breath. And then reverse the motion. Pause at center, take 1 cycle of breath. And let's find our way to standing. So being mindful of any supports, the pillows or maybe blocks that you have, come to stand. And if you've ever been to my class, I always say, shake it out. It's really not that serious. We're here for wellness, not to be too serious. So shake your legs out, shake your arms out. And then find yourself in a mountain pose. Mountain pose, we have our feet hip width apart. Lift your toes, bring them down to make sure you're fully rooted in. Let's lift up on tippy toes, lift your heels, bring heels down, fully rooted in. Imagine that there's truly energy coming all the way from your feet through your legs, so your legs are engaged, engaging through your belly, squeezing into your belly, shoulders rolled back. Let's have our arms by our sides, palms facing forward, chin slightly tucked in, top of the head, towards the ceiling. Let's take a deep breath in. Exhale through the mouth. One more. Inhale. Release. Let's step our legs out a little bit more. So we're coming into a wide-legged posture. Have your feet pointing to the upper corners of your space. Bend through one knee. And let's alternate to the other, creating movement in our hips. I know a lot of us sit for work. So let's sway from side to side, bend one knee, straighten the other. And maybe you bring your arms to move along as well. Slowly with your breath. Do 2 more cycles, lubricating the hips, the hip joint. And then the next time you turn towards your right leg, let's bring pivot through the feet so that both feet are pointing towards the right corner. Bring your fingertips down to the mat. Left knee comes down. Let's find a low lunge. So I have blocks here. I know that we're not all equipped to have blocks, but maybe simply have your fingertips down to the ground. Press your pelvis down towards the ground. Lift your chest. 3, 2, and 1. Shift your hips back. Let's extend the front leg. Maybe you flex that right foot towards your face. We're coming to half splits. We're extending through the front leg, finding a stretch in the back of that right leg. Lean your chest forward for 3. Maybe tuck your chin in, 2. And 1. Come back to a low lunge for a moment for the inhale. Exhale, palms into the ground. Let's find downward facing dog. So tuck your back toes under. Back knee lifts. Shift the right foot to meet the left. We're lifting the hips so they're the highest point in our body. Your arms are strong, palms spread wide. Two more cycles of breath. Look towards your hands, bend your knees a lot. Walk your hands towards your feet. Lengthen through the legs, lengthen through the spine. Inhale, halfway lift, hands on your shins. Lengthen through the back, gaze towards the front. Exhale, bend through your knees, fold forward. Let your torso rest on your thighs. One more time, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Rise to stand, big arm movements as you sweep your arms around and up. Exhale, arms by your sides. Take a few steps to come back to the middle of your space. Let's take 3 cycles of breath in mountain pose. Maybe close your eyes or soften your gaze, whatever's more comfortable for you. Notice your breath, notice how your body feels with this short movement. Can you slow down your exhales? Let's step our feet wide in a wide-legged stance. Feet pointing to the upper corner of our space. Let's come back to the side-to-side movement. So alternating, bend one knee, straighten the other, turning the torso towards the bent knee. Move from side to side. Go as low as you would like or as your body would permit today. Sway. Do 2 more cycles. And then next time your torso and your turns towards the left, we're going to pivot through the back foot so that both toes are pointing to the left, fingertips to the ground, right knee down, untuck the back toe. Let's find our low lunge on the left side. Inhale. Exhale, stay in the low lunge. You have the supports of your blocks for 3. 2. And 1. Shift your hips back, lengthen through the front leg. Maybe you flex your foot towards your face and mindfully lean towards that extended leg. What we're trying to find is a stretch, not so much our head touching our toes for 3. 2. And 1. Let's lunge forward one more time. Inhale. Exhale, being mindful of the blocks. Find your way to downward facing dog. So hands come to the sides of the feet. Step the left foot back. Shift your hips up towards the ceiling for downward facing dog. In this down dog, you can pedal your feet, so bend one knee, straighten the other, alternate. Or you can try to find stillness, your arms engaged, lengthen through the arms into the torso, gaze towards your feet. Look at your hands, bend your knees, walk your hands towards your feet. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold. One more time, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Rise to stand, big arm movements. Exhale, arms by your sides. Walk to the middle of your space, or at the very least, that's what it looks like to me. Feet hip width apart. Find your mountain pose. Soften your gaze, close your eyes. Again, notice how you feel. And then shake it out, roll your shoulders, move your feet about. Great time to crack your toes. Nice. So we're going to bring our feet a little bit more than hip width apart. Again, toes pointing outward. And again, and depending on where you are, you might have blocks, you might have pillows, rolled up blankets. Let's set ourselves up for a yoga squat. So depending on how much energy you have today, you can simply bend your knees and come down to your blocks. If you'd like to join in a little bit of core work, because why not? Let's bring our arms at shoulder height. Our knees are pointing in the same direction as our toes, yes. Inhale. Exhale, bend into your knees, and we're coming down slowly for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Yoga squat. So you have your knees pointing outwards. Again, you can sit on a block or put them to the side. Let's bring our palms together in front of our chest. Press the knees outwards. Let's move from side to side. Let's extend the right arm to the upper right corner of our space. So again, this can be done on the blocks, yes? Upper right corner of our space. Open up the chest. Let's extend the left arm towards the ceiling. Press your right arm into the knee to open for 3, 2, and 1. Come back, 2 hands together in front of chest, pressing your knees outwards. Let's once again extend towards the left this time. Fingertips towards the upper left corner of your space. Press your upper arm into the knee and open into the right arm. Chest turning towards the ceiling for 3, 2, and 1. Come back to your yoga squat. And then gently remove the block. Come to a seat. Have your feet hip width apart, actually more than hip width apart. And let's move both knees to the right, both knees to the left, giving some release if there has been any soreness that came through. Find a comfortable seat, or if you'd like, you can lay down on your mat. Let's end where we started. Once again, spine long. Together, let's take 3 breaths. Inhale for 1, 2, 3. Release through the mouth. One more inhale, 2 more. 2, 3. Release through the mouth. Last one, inhale, 1, 2, 3, release. Palms together in front of chest. I bow to you. Thank you so much for joining this practice, for sharing a little bit of your energy with the others that are with you, with us virtually. It's been a true honor and a pleasure to teach. Again, my name is Kathy. I go by the pronouns she, her. And this has been the Prana Shanti Yoga Center in Ottawa. Thank you. Perry?
Thank you, Katie. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay. That was amazing. I feel so good. Thank you, Ketty. I think that everybody who had the pleasure of following along in your practice is going to have the best afternoon. Thanks to you. I want to thank Ketty so much for her time with us today, bringing some space and reflection and mobility and movement into our busy lives as we attend the conference. I also want to thank Ketty for her really profound start, her words about our commitment off the mat to truth and reconciliation in Canada. It's a big reason why I love Ketty's practices when I go to them in Ottawa. We all should be practicing putting our actions into our yoga practice into actions every day. And I want to thank you, Ketty, for that. I want to thank Prana Shanti Yoga Center for being a partner in this session. They're a wonderful yoga center here in Ottawa. And for one lucky attendee who has been part of our session today, Genome Canada will be making a draw after the session for some classes at Prana Shanti, either virtually or in person, depending on where you live in Canada. So no matter where you've patched in from today, you could be the lucky winner of some really wonderful classes at Prana Shanti. So with that, thank you to CSPC for the opportunity. I hope the rest of you continue to enjoy our conference, the conference this afternoon, and a little plug for Genome Canada's session at 2:30 on Genomics on a Mission. Anyway, thanks again, everybody. Have a wonderful afternoon.